and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
To me, patient serving patients means that I know how I want to be treated when I walk in the door, and I expect everyone else to be treated the same way when they walk in the door. I've been a patient at Complete Care for about 5 years. Getting my primary care here at Complete Care means that it's convenient, it's accessible, I have a knowledgeable provider who takes good care of me in a very thorough and efficient way. Working here and knowing that we have people who are treating patients and serving patients makes me feel good, both as a person, as an employee, and as a member of the greater community. Because at Complete Care, we are patients serving patients.
I chose DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home because they treated me with respect and compassion. I couldn't have gone through all this if I didn't have DeMarco Luisi by my side. They did everything that they could to make me happy, and that was important to me and my kids.
At the DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we're here for you and your family in your time of need.
Super people.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Around South Jersey. We are at the New Jersey Motorsports Park, but we can hear each other because they were having a lot of people enjoying themselves, having a wonderful party behind us. So we moved to the conference room. But with me is probably one of the longest serving elected officials ever in the city of Millville, Jim Parent. Jim, great to see you, man.
Hey, Mayor. I keep calling him Mayor, but that goes with the territory.
You too.
You know, Jim.
You know, speaking of that, Jim, I got to tell everybody, Jim Parent rose to the highest level of any mayor in the city's history. He was the president, right, of the New Jersey League of Municipalities, which is the biggie. I mean, that is thousands of people, right, Jim?
It is. That's,
and I remember how proud I was. You were standing up there addressing everybody at the Convention Hall in Atlantic City. Yeah. Wow. How many years ago was that?
Back in 1990, in the 90s. I came in office in 89. And
right.
They kidnapped me in 1989. Said, we want you up here on the board of directors.
Wow, that's fantastic.
You know, I knew some of them because I was involved in government with the New Jersey Association of Election Officials back then.
Oh, that's right.
You know, my other life.
Yes, right.
So I got to know a lot of people up there, going to the members of the Assembly and Senate, working with legislators and what have you. But anyway, they kind of...
Bill Dressel loves you.
Well,
Bill was the executive director of New Jersey.
Bill Dressel, boy, what you talk about an icon in government.
Yeah, wasn't it? What a great guy.
What a great motivator.
Yeah.
You know, great speaker.
Yep.
It was an honor.
Well,
sure.
Let's talk about when you first got involved. It was the school board, right? What year? Yeah. What was your first year you got elected?
School board, like 85.
Okay.
67, 88. Yeah, somewhere around 1985. Yeah. Back then, Jim, it was appointed.
Oh, that's right.
It was appointed by your city commission and the mayor. Mm-hmm. We were all appointed, and I happened to get appointed to that. And then I was on the what they call the Board of School Estimates. Right. Board of School Estimates, which the mayor was one and two others, and you always have two members of the Board of Education on what they call the Board of School Estimates.
Right.
Budget was approved by the Board of School Estimates. Any buildings, any work, anything had to be done by the Board of School Estimates. So your city commission really were in control of your budget. 3 beats 2. You got to learn to count to 5, and City Hall.
So that was 85.
I got elected in 1989.
No, 89. You were on the school board first.
Yeah,
right?
I was on the school board first with George Mitchell and Dave Fithian. And,
it was some really good people.
Talk about some icons there.
Well, when you got elected in 89, weren't you the mayor?
Yes, I was the mayor.
You got elected first time as the mayor,
people
right?
thought there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah, we all grew up in a bloody third with him.
Oh my God, parents want to be the mayor, there goes the neighborhood. But, it was exciting.
And let's talk, in fact, this is funny. We just saw one of our mutual friends that we think the world of, Molly Hollingshead.
Oh, God, yeah.
When you got elected in 89, tell everybody who was on the commission with you.
Myself, John Hollingshead, Vicki Marshall, Rob Shannon, and Chet Goodwin.
Boy, I tell you, don't get better than those people.
Let me tell you something, Jim. Of course, Rob, very very dear friend,
Yeah.
as you know. And Chet was great. He was revenue and finance, and
Right.
we had built a great team. We worked together, and we accomplished a heck of a lot. Back then, Molly was the first woman ever elected city commissioner in the city of Millville.
Yep.
That year, 1989.
Took
Took over
not Molly.
Vicky Marshall.
Vicky Marshall,
I got
yes,
Molly on my head
Yeah,
right now.
I understand.
So Vicky Marshall was the first woman elected.
Yes, that's true.
To government back then.
Wow.
I was talking to Cindy about that.
Cindy Cook is here with us, blessing us all with her presence.
We go back a few years, all of us.
Well, Jimmy, it's funny you talk about that. In fact, I have the picture. I'll have to show it on Facebook sometime, because in '89 you became elected the mayor, and you were there '89, '90, '91, '92. Then I guess Rob was the mayor in '93, but then he shared it with Emma a little bit.
Yeah. Rob. I don't want to get too far into that, but and then. In fact, they wanted me to be the mayor, and I don't want to be the mayor. And I could have been, but I felt that I had my own reasons why. Right. I just wanted to sit in this seat here. Yeah. And you notice, Jim, when you were the mayor, you sat in that right of me, and I sat to the left of you.
Absolutely.
I've always been to the left of the mayor.
Well, thank God for you being there.
Always been to the left of the mayor.
Yeah, and you know what? It's been interesting because as you talk about your first 89, 90, 91, 92, you had some great people with you.
Oh, boy,
well, when I got elected in 1997, I was so fortunate. I had Jim as my left-hand person, because he sat at the left of my seat. But we had John Hollingshead, who just one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet with. We had Jeff Trout, Mike's dad, was a really good commissioner, and of course Joe Durella. And it's funny, you look at that picture. I wish I had that to show right now. I have the picture of us getting sworn in. I'm fatter then than I am now. That's the one good thing I got going for me. You still look fantastic. And Joe Durella had hair then.
Yes, he did.
And Jeff.
Well, Rob had hair too back.
Did he?
Yeah, Rob wasn't born bald.
And Jeff Trout looks very young, and John looked good. And I just, I often look at that and I think, oh my God, how lucky I was. I should have stopped after the 4 years. It was just wonderful with you and Joe and Jeff and John, just with 5 J's.
Yeah,
and we just
J's.
really, Jimmy, I want to talk about some of your accomplishments before we talk about our accomplishments.
Cool. Yeah.
But when you got on in '89, tell people what you focused on, and you can see all the good things Jim did back through the time you were there.
Well, going in early like that, Jim, what motivated me was a new school, elementary school.
Oh, great.
Believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My disagreements at that time with the commissioners, because I felt it important that we were trying to build a new school from the Board of Education, what have you. But we were able to get that through the Board of School Estimates, because at that point now, I happen to be on the Board of School Estimates as a commissioner. And my 2 colleagues who on the Board of Education, we have now 3 votes. So we each 2. That's 5. Okay. And we moved on and were able to build a Silver Run school.
Oh, that's fabulous.
But my big focus was infrastructure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. How much you did
and I keep
downtown.
preaching that. Cindy probably hears me. The commission me to invest in the infrastructure of the city. But when you look at the bridge, Vine Street, as you cross the bridge, what did you see? You saw an old building on the corner, which used to be a gas station. 100 tires there. Next to that, going up Buck Street, was a junkyard. On the river.
Junkyard,
and there were more buildings along the river all the way up to Pine. Across the street was the Bannerman building.
Yes.
Remember the Bannerman?
I do.
Always going to fall.
It's leaned. It actually leaned.
And next to that was a big brick, the Nestor building, a 4-story brick building, graffiti right there on Main Street.
That's what was that Nestor building that was contaminated.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so, we really invested in that. We put new curbing, sidewalks, lighting on High Street, because the merchants were complaining there was no parking, so we had all the parking on Buck Street for them. And Jim, it was so tearful because, you know, the mall was really blooming then.
Yeah.
And I bought clothes at K&G's, Frank's, do shopping, you know, your shoes and all.
Aeronauts
and what happened was, and I'd always go downtown and see the guys, and they said, Jim, you know, thanks for what you guys did, but people aren't buying it. People aren't shopping. They're going to that mall, you know. And, you know, we're no different than other communities, Jim, but that's always going to be a struggle and a fight. And, you know, I hope the next administration, we have made some impacts in the past couple of years. We have 3 new businesses downtown. We're bringing a very medical building downtown from Broad Street to Oak, half that block. So, you know, but it's going to always be a struggle.
Yeah, downtowns really are. There's no question about it, Jim. And the nice thing was when you and I and Jeff and Joey and John got elected, we were able to get going with the Arts District. And Jimmy, I know you were very instrumental. The 3 Frank Spence and Boy Shop buildings were empty. They were sitting there, and Jim said, we got to do something. You and I, Kim Ayers, Don Ayers, things like that. We said, what can we do? And of course, we had Pat Witt, who's like the artist for the city of Millville, phenomenal lady.
Absolutely.
And they talked about starting an arts district. And what we were able to do was we bought those 3 Franks buildings. And I'll never forget, Mike Aliano was the contractor that came in to take the 3 buildings and make it into the what is now the RCA. So he was getting in the process and close to finishing up. And he said to me, Jim, do you think this is going to work? I said, I really do, Mike. He said, okay. So if he invested $1 million in the building next door, which was AA Sales, and then that's where, of course, Andrea's was, now El Guacamole is. Beautiful building. And then, of course, thank God, Rick and Lois Abbott, they said, well, this thing looks like it's moving forward. They invested in the Woolworth building, put millions in that, and put in one of the finest restaurants in South Jersey. And we're hoping and praying it'll be able to open it up sometime soon. But but what I'm saying, Jim, is you've always said this: public investment will help, private investment will follow, and it did.
And
you know what I mean?
And it will.
We maybe put in $500,000, but you had almost $3 or $4 million put in by private people that came and did what they had to do. And you know, it's been tough times.
And what helped us, Jim, was the UEZ zone.
Yes, that's right. Good point.
When you look back, people don't realize. I mean, we're a little older up here. We've been there before. We know what's happened. We know where the funding comes from. And when we talk about UEZ, it's Dutch to a lot of people. Okay. But you know, we were able to utilize and capitalize those funding to do a lot of the infrastructure along the way, things that we were doing. And it was a 20-year program, and it wasn't renewed by the state.
Right.
But while we're talking about UEZ, I mentioned a commission meeting, it is back.
Yes.
It is now back.
We
have worked for years through the state, League of Municipalities, and other people trying to get that back. I got a call from a good friend, Mayor Bolwich, up at
Chris.
Chris.
He's a great guy.
He's the mayor of Lisbon. What a great guy. What a great person.
Well, that's where he made those connections at the League of Municipalities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great person.
And in fact, I think, Jim, he's been mayor for, I think, early 90s, I think, when you came out, maybe a little before that.
Yeah, he probably, I was mayor 24 years ago, and he was probably in before me.
He was the mayor. That's 140,000 population or something like that.
Big
up
city,
there.
It's right next to
But
the sun.
anyway, we got wind that the state is going to give the urban districts back the UEC program. And we knew, in fact, the one night I was at the commission meeting, I was aware of it, but I couldn't say anything because everything wasn't signed yet by Commissioner Oliver. But what that means to our community, Jim, for the next administration coming in, I think normally it's going to derive somewhere between $800,000 and $1 million a year more coming into your tax base, you know, which is hard. I couldn't wait to call my good friend from up in Elizabeth. That night, I called Chris and I said, gosh, Chris, I just want to personally, humbly thank you for your effort, because if there was one person in the state of New Jersey that never gave up getting that back, was Mayor Bolwich. And I just had to call him and thank him for his dedication, his loyalty. And nobody from Millville knows him. We know him because we've been in his company. I've served with him on the boards before. But that is going to be a tremendous asset for the next administration coming through. Helping small businesses, creating jobs. It's a 10-year program, guaranteed 10 years now. So
yeah, that's super. I also, Jim, I know you do too. Nick Aselda was our senator, and Nick would go with us. He'd go
absolutely
and get. In fact, because he was on the other side of the aisle, it helped us. He could get a few of the Republicans, senators, and or assembly people to be supportive as well. So, that was very helpful also to have him.
I tell you a little story about Nick, and I'm sure he should remember this. He was a senator at the time, and the Republicans controlled the Senate.
Okay.
And the state at that time.
Okay.
Also. And,
Tom King was governor.
There's times where you have to go to the state to explain the increase or decrease your budget. And people don't realize the city commission, folks, does not have the final say on the municipal budget.
That's right.
The state does. You have to put the budget together, and it has to be sent to the state for the state approval. Well, when it comes to funding and all, back then we had extraordinary aid money and stuff that would come to the city. Yeah. Well, I would have to go to Department of Community Affairs for a hearing and discuss it. Now, there's no sense in taking the Democrat person with
me. That's right. So, we were lucky to have a friendly Republican.
I got Nick, the Republican, because the Republicans controlled the Department of Community Affairs also. So it's a little bit of politics, folks. But it does. That's part of what you learn to operate on and do. And Nick was always right there for us.
Yes, he was.
Here in the city.
He would take me up and introduce me, and I'm sure the same with you, the other side of the aisle. They get the relationship going and all that kind of stuff. And but it was funny. Someplace just recently, we were talking about our favorite governor, and we all, and with Democrats, Republicans, we all love Tom King. What a great guy, what a wonderful job he did. And in fact, when I see his son, I used to see his son years back, and I'd say, about my favorite governors is your dad. He says, mine too. I said, he did a wonderful job.
But Jim, you look back and how hard we all worked on the Wild and Scenic program.
Yes, and you saved this city of Millville.
You talk about controversy.
Yes,
folks, I was beat up bringing the school to town. The school taxpayers screaming at me. Wild and Scenic, because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be south of the wastewater treatment plant because of the ideas we had with the riverfront, And I didn't sign it until I had legal counsel go through it and make sure it was going to be south. Well, they were running me out of town. But we brought that. Yeah. And what a great asset that is in our area. Because, Jim, Mayor Doug Palmer and I were very good friends. Mayor Palmer was the mayor of Trenton at the time, and I stole some ideas from him, shared some. We had something unique in Millville back. We had a river running through the center of your city.
Yes, you bet. Yeah.
Okay? And you and the commissioners working together helped develop all of that, Jim.
Yeah. You started it, Jim.
Yeah, well, but it's just not me.
Yeah.
It's the team that you put together.
Yeah.
The team that the voters will be electing this year. And I'm not getting into the politics end of it, but just make sure that you're going to have people in there willing to work together and for the good of the city and do what's best.
Well, you know what, Jim, was interesting when you and I ran, way back. We ran as individuals. There was no team thing. You just ran as yourself, and we were lucky, Jim. I mean, I couldn't have asked for 4 better people when I got to be the mayor in 1997 than you and Jeff and John and Joe. I mean, we all, 2 Republicans, 3 Democrats, we all worked together. And that's what Millville should be, and we hope it will be, but Jimmy, I got to tell you something. I talked to some guy sitting at this table right now, and 29 other people like him, who are super people, who give back to the community, care about the community. Please run. No way. No way. No way.
No.
And I'm afraid it's gotten that negativity is so bad. In fact, one person is watching us tonight. It's a young lady. In fact, she said, "Hi, guys." First, she said, "Okay, I'll run with you," because we were running as a team trying to find 4 good people to run. And later on, she said, "Jim, I watched those meetings. I'm sorry, I can't do it. My skin is too thin to take the verbal abuse that comes out of the meeting." Right. And that's a shame. We didn't have that quite as bad, back in the 90s as it seems to be now. And
well, you know what
that's
happens?
probably why a lot of people
we
don't
find
want to run.
that out throughout the state and municipal government. You don't get people willing to serve because of the it's not hassle. It's just the rudeness of some people.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
They call you different things, or you don't care. In the meantime, you're sacrificing home life, family, kids,
absolutely,
working in your municipality. But yes, Jim, I've seen it happen over the years, and people that I know here in Millville would be outstanding.
Oh my God! Yes, absolutely.
People that would do a great job, but they want no part of it.
No,
they do not want any part of it. And they say to me, the key is how all the years I've been ridiculed more than anybody. 'Cause I've been there so doggone long.
How many years have you been?
27. It'll be 25 years.
Wow.
See, I had one year
I was
appointed.
You left me, you son of a gun. They were the worst 2 years of my life in government because you left.
Well,
somebody got in that wasn't good and friendly.
What happened, I put 20 years in, and then, I'll tell you why, Jim, because, my grandchildren were starting to go into the high school.
Sure.
And we have 8 grandchildren at that time, and as you know, they were pretty good athletes. All
Pop's footsteps.
All good athletes. And I just felt that, something, I've sacrificed somewhat because they play a lot of youth league sports, and I'm running around doing city business or what have you. And I was eligible to retire.
Oh, I see. Right.
So I retired.
Okay.
And and Carol, she's semi-retired, or just about retired anyway. And we just chased grandkids in high school, because what happened is most of them played 3 sports a year.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one sport. So they were like around the clock. The Groves and the Parent family.
Yeah, that's right.
And but just to share that times with them in high school, and Carol enjoying herself, going to all the games. I would go to this game, the kids playing here, and another kid would be playing over in that game in high school. So we would split up, but they were great times. And then knowing that our grandchildren were going to go to college also. So that 8 years is watching grandchildren grow up in the high school, great education. They were all academic students, Jim. That's so proud. They've all gone to college. You know the background of our grandchildren. We have doctors, PhDs, engineers. They've all done well.
Great kids.
And see them play in college.
Yeah. Wow.
And Tony Suresh is dealing with that right now.
AJ
with his grandchildren. And Coach Suresh and I are very good friends. And he's, every time I text him about his AJ and his granddaughters and grandchildren, I saw his grandson play.
Did you really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's the real deal.
Too. Yeah.
He is the real deal. I mean, he's only a sophomore, but when I watched him play, he looked like Brady. Honestly, in the pocket. His good release, his vision.
Well, we got a lot of friends saying hello. Terry Pangburn said,
hey,
2 great Millvillians there, both named Jim. Thank you, Terry. Anna Clawwood Suey's watching us. Anna, nice to have you with us. Debbie Hollinger. Hi, Deb.
Yeah.
Okay, we got lots more here. Sheila Roselle. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
Jack Harris. My God, have you seen him? He
yes,
looks
I
better
did.
now.
Jack looks better now than he ever has.
Yeah,
Jack,
he looks fantastic.
God love you. Continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
please,
I went to his. I performed his son's wedding. It's like,
he's also he's had his battle with cancer, Jim. Also,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He looks great.
Yeah, he really does. Danny Gale, remember Danny?
Hi, Danny.
And Glenn Lilly, we talked about him early.
Hi, Glenn.
And it's funny because Glenn said, always great to see you, Jim. I thoroughly enjoy my years of working with you at CETA. And you and I talked about CETA. And George Cuccia, who used to be George Cuscia, says, well, I worked at CETA too. And then when I start looking down, I think Charlie Hope was there. A lot of my people worked there, and some great people. You mentioned. Tell some of the other people.
Oh my gosh, Susan Robustella, Ken McCouch. Susan Robustella became the city administrator. Ken McCouch became a Cumberland County administrator.
Yes, that's right.
Glenn Lilly became
vice president of Clarence.
He was top drawer down Atlantic City. He was the man you had to know to get into see somebody very popular.
And the president of the Millville Soccer Association, Mr. Brannon, is here online and came by.
Hey, thanks for all you guys are doing in those youth league organizations. We have a good man here also doing the same thing. Years of service. We all got our start. I got my start in 1964, 65 coaching.
Football.
Football, yeah.
People still talk about it. You've been our coach. I did baseball, girls softball, And it's a passion. You love being with kids.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, my grandchildren are involved with Millville Youth Soccer. My gosh, what a great complex. So nice to be out there with the people. And, you know, that's what Millville's all about. That's what makes Millville, Jim, you know that, from midget leagues and from little leagues and you know, all the things we've been involved with. There's some wonderful people besides just Cindy Cook, who donates and does everything in the world. And I also want to say hello to Denise Arrigo, and I'm hoping everything's working out well for Denise. And she's another wonderful volunteer. She and Cindy just always out there, and Donna Stiles. And, you know, you go right down the list, and then you look through the leagues. Besides, you know, the soccer, you got the little leagues, you got the midget and on the midget football side, I got to give Quan Boleg a lot of credit. He's vice president of the. It's not midget anymore. It's the Holly City Youth Football League. And they've got. Boy, what a feeder system, Jim.
You know, Jim,
wow.
In fact, you also were there the opening day with the things that we were stopping by to see them. And the work that the coaches and the people are so dedicated, and how some of them come up, you don't know me, do you, Coach Parent? I said, no, I don't remember you. You go through this too. We all have, you know. And to see some of the people that I had the opportunity to coach in youth sports, seeing them coaching, seeing them getting involved. You know, and I can remember when my son got out of college and came, thank God he came back home to Millville and didn't go, you know, but in law enforcement. But I was helping him coach even. And this little guy comes up to me and said, Coach Parent, yes. My grandpa, Pop, said you coached him. I said, I'm out of here.
You know, Terry Pangberg just said CETA got him hired through the Sheriff's Department in 1976. Thanks to you, Jim. Wow.
Well, you know, Terry, you're a great law enforcement person. You know how I am with public safety. I just admire the heck those who are involved in public safety. What they do out there in the communities and the stuff that they have to put up with today that maybe you and I didn't see years ago. Boy, my hat's off to everyone who raises that right hand and takes that oath in public safety. So,
Terry's what I think. I really, really like Terry and Newell because they are part of Millville Memories, and that's one of my favorite shows.
You guys are walking, what we used to call encyclopedias.
They are, aren't they? Yeah, that's true.
Okay, there's computers now.
I want to certainly enjoy all those good things. We're talking with Vice Mayor Jim Parent, who was the mayor of Millville from 1989 through 1993, and was the president of the League of Municipalities of thousands of elected officials back in the 90s as well. We'll be back to talk more with Jim right after these messages.
Things don't always go as planned. That's why having quality healthcare around the corner is so important. And whether it's for sprains, x-rays, or cold and flu, you can visit Inspira Urgent Care and see a doctor without even making an appointment. So come in whenever you need us. Even if it's right now. Inspira Urgent Care. When things go wrong, we're right here.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
To me, patient serving patients means that I know how I want to be treated when I walk in the door, and I expect everyone else to be treated the same way when they walk in the door. I've been a patient at Complete Care for about 5 years. Getting my primary care here at Complete Care means that it's convenient, it's accessible, I have a knowledgeable provider who takes good care of me in a very thorough and efficient way. Working here and knowing that we have people who are treating patients and serving patients makes me feel good, both as a person, as an employee, and as a member of the greater community. Because at Complete Care, we are patients serving patients.
I chose DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home because they treated me with respect and compassion. I couldn't have gone through all this if I didn't have DeMarco Luisi by my side. They did everything that they could to make me happy, and that was important to me and my kids.
At the DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we're here for you and your family in your time of need.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Jim Quinn along with Jim Parent, Vice Mayor of the City of Millville. And Jim Parent has served longer than anybody in the history of the City of Millville, 25 years. And I wish you'd served 27 years because I could have used you those two. Were the worst two I ever spent in my life. But I want to also commend Jim. I had forgotten, Jim, you were inducted into the League of Municipalities Hall of Fame. Is that what it was? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, you know, that was somewhat quite an honor, Jim. It was at the State House, in fact. You know, and, I'm a lifetime member of the board now,
and see, you turned me down. You wouldn't run for office again.
Well, you know, but again, you know, it's time for younger people to step up, other people to step up also. You know, but that was, I can remember that happened, and Joyce was still alive. You know, Joyce Bannerman. What a great person, Jim. And the press got wind of it, and they kept wanting some kind. I said, "It's nice." You know, that was my comment. You know, you know, you do it because you care. You don't do it because you want a picture in the paper or something. But you know, I'm there for life. So
that's fair. Congratulations.
You know, that's quite an honor.
It sure is.
And the thing is, Jim, it's coming from people that you work with, you respect. Different sides of the aisle. You know. That's what it's all about. You know. It's something that's earned. It's not given. You know, so that's a great feeling.
Yeah, it really.
Now, thanks for mentioning that. But, you know, we didn't have to.
But
you know,
no, I mean, it's something where people
don't
realize.
We went in with controversial things and things we talk about infrastructure, Jim. They're a little focused on that. We brought a oil-fired gas generating station out on Main Street, West Main Street. It's out there.
Oh,
Atlantic Electric.
Yes,
okay?
right. Yeah.
And they were going to run me out of town again because I care about the environment. But there was a problem out there because they had this little frog that was out there. And this little frog was a species that is not, you know, having a problem with. And they were saying, you can't build out there. Well, yeah, that little frog, they didn't like it. I said, you mean that frog we catch out there and put it on the end of a hook and catch bass? Am I right? Well, you know, oh my gosh, yeah.
Wasn't that the frog that killed the projects?
Yeah.
Hollow Farm.
My argument, Marsh River Township, you know, has a generating station right next to it, the property line.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, okay? Not amazing, but it's all off.
But this little frog, you know, would not cross that line and go over there.
No.
So, you know, it was the right thing to do because, Jim, we have received hundreds of thousands of dollars in franchise tax.
That's right.
Over the years. The thing just makes you money.
Yeah.
You know, and that's still going on. The city's still deriving some of that. Yeah. The problem is, it was the right thing to do.
It sure was,
the
Jim.
right thing to do.
Absolutely.
And sometimes when the easiest thing is to do nothing, but do something. Do something. Put your footprint on something. A hospital, Jim.
Yes.
The regional hospital in the city of Millville. Oh my gosh! Now they're going to tar and feather me. They're going to put down the hospital on High Street. You know. But I knew, and so did the mayors and the rest of the county, it was the right thing to do. Violence was in there, can't make it, Millville, Bridgeton. And, you know, boy, to talk about people coming and screaming at us. My kids were born there, I was born there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was the right
Times
thing to
change.
do.
You had to.
And knowing, working with my friends in Vineland, the different sites, and they were looking at Millville, but we really didn't have the best site for the long term.
But it's real close. It's right almost on the line.
With Vineland, and they were talking about that. We're all friends. It's going to be built in proximity of a county college.
I know, isn't that great? Yeah.
Okay.
And half the county college is in Millville.
It's in Millville. Yeah. And I said, well, that's a great place because guess what? Yeah. It's closer than it is to the Vineland. The people in East Vineland were going nuts.
Yeah, that's true. They were upset.
They have to travel. In the meantime, it's only a mile and a half from where our hospital is, or 2 miles.
Yeah.
So we built that hospital. Not but we fought for that. Yeah. And let me tell you something, we've all been patients there, and so have I. Great care.
Oh, they're
great
super.
care,
They saved
great
my life.
people.
It's a great
They saved my
facility.
life.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Cooper did, Cooper
Right.
Hospital,
Yeah.
but, you know, it was the people that worked there, Jim. My recovery was a lot done at Spirit.
Right.
Cancer. I don't mind talking about cancer. You know,
No, I've had it too.
You know, we all battled our cancer. You know, I'm stage 4 cancer.
Wow.
You know, but the care that I received there from radiology, oncology, the nurses for your treatments. You know, my treatments were 5 days a week. You know, 5 days a week for 8 weeks. So yeah, they beat you up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it does.
it's just the great care by the nurses that are there. That they don't have a frown on their face when you're getting treated. It's a big unit that's there. All of us who are cancer people, getting our IVs, getting our chemotherapy and what have you, and families. Always a smile on their face, always upbeat.
Yep.
And I know one night I'm there until like 6 o'clock, close to 6 o'clock at night, from 8 o'clock in the morning. Wednesday was my longest day. You know, I'm there from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But the oncology doctors, even though one isn't my doctor, because there's like 6 or 7 of them, here comes a doctor in there with a tray. You know, because there were still some of us getting treatments.
Right.
You know, can I help you? You want some coffee, donuts, Danish? What? I couldn't even swallow anything.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
But other people could.
Yeah.
But they're still there, and they're coming around serving something cold to drink, you know, talking to you.
Yeah.
You know, it just, to me, you know, and I've been at Cooper, and Cooper's a great hospital, don't misunderstand me. But there was nothing like being treated at the Millville by the nurses and the people there who are taking care of the patients. They're super people, you know.
Yeah, they really are.
I know I'm comfortable whenever I have to go there, and I'm still, at times I still have to go there for checkups. I'm due next month for a complete checkup. That I've got confidence, you know, I'm going to be okay. But don't ever hesitate, folks, to get your treatments and things, because a lot of, if you go to any hospital in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or what have you, you can still get those treatments back here. It's the same chemo, radiation in most cases. So I just want to give a big shout out
Spirit,
to the men and women, and not laying there thinking that this is something we started.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
yes,
that regional
it is.
hospital.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
years ago,
people gave me flack too because
nobody remembers who did what. I didn't do it myself. Don't misunderstand me. I mean, your commissioners, your city, public officials, citizens, you know, who were fighting to have that done. And you've got that today. So these are things of a footprint. And I said this to this administration that I served with this year. You know, this was early in. I said, look, you're going to have 4 years to make an impact in the city. You're going to have an opportunity to put your footprint on something. And they did that with a new library.
Yeah, that's great.
A new library. That library, you ask Pepe. I told him, I said, you know something? Nobody's going to remember Pepe. People were complaining about doing the bond and no one helping. Nobody remember who did it.
Yeah.
But you will, because every time you go by that building, you're going to say, you know, I had something to do with that.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah. And that's why you do it. You know, and nobody will remember the people, commissioners and people who did that. American Little League Field. We just had a big thing for Mickey Smith out at the airport. Postman, great guy. People, you know,
very nice.
A lot of people know. 150, 200 people there.
Virginia's husband.
Yeah. Do what?
Virginia's husband.
Virginia's husband. And I've known him. And Mickey and I coached together.
Oh, that's neat.
American Little League.
That's
and we used to play at the coach and kids played at the airport.
Sure, I remember, Jimmy. I played there.
So, you know, we couldn't play at the airport anymore. Don't ask me why, because our kids were going to hit them. So the city comes out and said, look, you know, you're not going to be able to play here anymore. And the commissioner, whose name I will not mention, said, meet me across the street. Meet me at the dam.
Oh, okay.
All right. Mickey was me, and a couple other guys.
Right.
So we meet the commissioner from the city of Millville, and he said, this is where we want you to play. It was a landfill.
Oh, okay.
That's where the city took all the brush.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All the stumps, acres of it, and they want us to play baseball there.
Yep.
I said, okay, that's what. Well, this is going to take time. What's the city going to do? And the commissioner said, well, you know, there's not much I said, not much. You know, and he said, well, you know, I said, well, can we play over in the National League until we get this done?
Right.
Oh, heaven forbid. That's like, you can't go to a Catholic church or a Protestant church. I grew up that way, okay? So anyway, make a long story short, I called a good friend, John Rose. Remember John Rose?
I do. Yeah.
John was a freeholder, Cumberland County, big baseball guy.
Oh, God, American Legion ball coach.
So I called him up, and he met me at the dam. He couldn't believe, first of all, the commissioner wouldn't do something like fill it or what have you. He said, we'll do it. The county came in, Jim, all the backfill, everything.
That's good.
Weeks of fill. And Mickey and a lot of other people, Art Brailsford, you know, the list goes on and on. We built that field in 1 year.
Wow.
We
Nice
were ready
field.
to play. We had cane steel to the back. They brought their people there and done it. Ralph Wright, a builder in Millville, built that building.
Oh, that's nice.
And we helped him
Ralph.
fund,
Yep.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But we built that field in 1 year.
Wow.
Nobody remembers who did what,
That's something. That's fantastic.
you know, and nobody will. But when that thing was with Mickey Smith, that brought me back the memories that Mickey Smith was there. We know him as a postmaster, a guy, postman, or very involved in the league.
Legion,
but nobody remembers where his footprint was.
Oh, that's neat.
Right across the street,
that's
American
great.
Little League Field.
Loved that field. That's where my kids played. And
we
I was
coached
president
there.
of the league. And
But it was done by
managed
volunteers.
it. So we went there.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
And needless to say, the city and the commissioners weren't invited to our opening day. And needless to say, the commissioner ran for re-election. They get moved, they get elected.
I have to ask you that is off the air.
But what I'm saying, there are people in the city that do so much. We have people right here watching this as we're talking, Jim, are impacting in a positive way in the city, and nobody knows who you are. Okay? And nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to remember what you folks have done. You know, and that's, but you do it because you care.
Well, I know one thing you did, pal, that I'll never forget. It was so helpful. You got lights put on Wheaton Field.
Oh, but that was controversial.
Yeah, but you know what? Thank
I
God
didn't do
for that.
anything to-
And we
people
got
got mad
one
at
of the
me.
best football teams in the state of New Jersey, thanks to
Well,
those
you know,
lights.
I can remember, Jim, because we had a group come to the commission screaming at us, and putting lights on Wheaton Field was like, you got to be kidding me. And the feeling is that at that time, more high schools were starting to play on Friday nights.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the trend was, you know,
Friday
going
Night
into
Lights. Yeah.
Friday Night Lights was the thing. And again, people screaming. But it wasn't just for football. Band.
Yes. Yep.
You know, that's the
Rules
first
into
thing
that.
I come up with. I said, you know, the band can be there at night. We can have bands,
competition.
all this. They don't
Yeah,
have competition. We can have soccer there. We can have lacrosse there. You know, at nighttime, so the parents can see their kids play. They have to work.
Yeah. Good
Play
point.
night games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, nobody knows. No, I didn't do
Well, I
that.
knew
But,
that.
you know,
I
but
remembered.
you know,
Because of you.
I could go on, but you know, you're only as good as the people you have around you. You can only accomplish things with the people that you have around you. And the key is surround yourself with smart people.
Yeah.
People that truly care about the good things you have in your community. We can all find fault.
That's for sure.
Nobody's not perfect, Jim. No administration that I have been with has had the most difficult time in the history of the city with an epidemic.
Oh my God, Jimmy, that's right.
How we had to provide the services to the public. People don't know what we had to go through.
Yeah.
That's where the team came in as commissioners. It wasn't my department, it was our departments. Departments working together. Commissioners, we've always worked together on things that benefit the city. But to be shut down for 15 months and not leave your home, it affected everybody. Our employees were there. They went to City Hall. They had to stay into their office. They had to wear their masks. Everything had to be tested. And we still worked to get things done. And people would still complain because maybe their leaves weren't picked up or their brush wasn't picked up or they're not happy about this and that. They have no idea how we had to try to run the city. And we learned by doing. We learned through an epidemic that we can do things a little differently, that we can save some money in doing things. We don't have to have as many meetings. We can do it by Zoom. Yeah. We can do so many different things that we didn't think of before to keep us going. But I just give a big shout out to our administrative people, our employees, putting themselves at risk
Yeah,
to provide the
yeah,
service
yeah.
to the city. And I tell them every day, I love you, and thanks for what you're doing.
Well, you know, Jim, I have to say, I always, and this is true, folks, every meeting just about, Jim would praise the great work of those city employees.
Oh, no question.
And it was heartbreaking that one period of time I was there, the worst 2 years I ever spent in my life in elected office, we lost those good people. We lost John New. We lost Susan Robustello. We lost the entire construction official department because things were not good. And that's sad because that experience that they have is priceless and you can't put a dollar value on it. But they couldn't take it. They had to leave. They just couldn't take the stress that was going on with them during that period of time. And that, but I think back to what you always said, Jim. They are great people.
Yes,
We've
they
been
are.
so
Yeah.
fortunate. We've had some super people work in the city of Millville, and it was heartbreaking to see them leave. And
It was, Jim, and through
It's a
an
shame.
epidemic, people have to realize, I'm not blaming people because you don't understand government. I think you have to be in it to have understanding. You have to be in it to understand the politics that surrounds government. And you have to be there to witness the people who step up every day. Professional people in our city, the contracts, they must be certified.
Right.
Your city,
Yeah.
whether it's your city administrator, your municipal
Financial
clerk, your
officer.
CFO,
Yeah.
your tax collector,
Yeah.
tax assessor, must all be certified
Yeah.
people under civil service. We don't have to choose somebody from Millville. Well, how come you're not hiring Millville people?
Yeah.
They don't have the certification.
Right. Yeah.
So
wish
we
they
have to
did.
fill
Yeah.
those positions. But with this epidemic, people who live in Sea City, people who live in other municipalities, frontline supervisors were there just about every day, coming to work through this epidemic. They were there because they care about their job. They are professional people. They may not live in Millville, but I wouldn't trade any of them right now because I witnessed their hard work, their dedication to the people of our city. I always encourage local people to get certified.
Sure.
We do have some younger people that are in, and I totally want them to be the best you can be, go to classes, get certification, so when something opens up in Millville and you have the certification, you can get the job. So I know I'm a preacher too, but I'm not a preacher, folks. I'm not.
No. We know you're.
I don't want to go that
yeah.
far. I am
No,
not a preacher.
quite there.
But I'm preaching to the
Pretty
crowd.
good guy, but speaking of preachers, Reverend Meyer said he's praying for you. And
Hey,
it's
Reverend,
good,
how you
good
doing?
to see it. Tiffany Lowe, thanks for joining us. Tommy Clifton, one of our former dispatchers, did a great
Yeah.
job as a police dispatcher. Susan Welsh, one of my former students. Roger Justice, great guy. Rick Marshall, and is with us as well, and Patty Pollard, and Arlene Patitucci-Deglavina, and Bonnie Valentine Jackson. They've all been joining us this evening. And Jim, it's been great to have you here.
Yeah.
My only wish was you're running on Tuesday with me, but I know you're not.
Well, look, you know where my heart
I
is.
know where I can come
Jim,
and get advice.
you know, I'm always be available. As you know, I'm involved with a nonprofit agency,
Yes,
IC
thank
Development
God.
Corporation.
What a great organization that
I'm
is.
a chairman of the board of trustees
Yes.
with that, and we
Yeah.
want to partner with the city
We need
every
you.
step of the
Yes. Yeah.
way. We've done a heck of a lot, as you know,
Yes.
throughout the community.
Absolutely.
Full-time staff, our own building, board of directors, legal counsel. We have a building right downtown Millville, and we're not going anywhere. And I just can't say enough about the people we have. Heather Santoro, our executive director.
Donna
My gosh,
Harris,
what a
yeah.
dedicated Millville person.
Yeah, she is.
It's a
Wonderful
passion,
lady.
not a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
It's like Cindy,
Yeah.
those who is here.
Yeah.
It's not a job, it's a passion.
Exactly.
That we
Yeah.
do it for.
Sam Noel with the sports zone.
Anyway.
Yeah. Jim, thanks, buddy.
Mayor,
Good to
so
see
much
you.
luck in your campaign
Well,
and
thank
election.
you.
You know?
I wish you were running with me. Wish she was running with me. Wish she was running with me. But I'm lucky. I do have
I
some
just
good
hope the
people.
people
Yeah, I really do.
vote for people that you think will do
Yeah.
the job and work
Yeah.
together and,
Yeah, that's
and
the
for the
key.
good of
Yeah.
the city. I'm not going away.
Oh,
I
thank
may
God.
not be elected, but my heart's
Yeah.
here. And like I say, I am involved with the
Yeah.
Hockey Development Corporation.
And that's economic development arm
Yep.
of the city that we
Yeah.
desperately need.
We're
Thanks, Jim.
looking forward to maybe continuing that relationship
I
with the
sure
city,
hope so.
next
If I'm there,
administration.
I
Jim.
certainly want to make sure that
If we have some smart people there. We've just been on
Yeah.
board since June,
Thank
The
God.
impact that we made so far with jobs and the creation of jobs, it's there, and it's because we have a strong team of people.
You do. Great.
So.
Former mayor, now currently vice mayor of the city of Millville, Jim Parent's been our guest. 25 years in government in the city and in the League of Municipalities Hall of Fame, and certainly one of the best athletes Millville had on the school board, and gives back and continues to give back to our city. Thank you, Jim, for all you do. Thank you for joining us tonight here on Around South Jersey. We'll want to remind you, election coverage will be coming to you on Tuesday evening at about 8:30. And we'll have a group of people. In fact, Nor'eastern Nick's going to be the host, because I'll be here at the Motorsports Park. We're going to have our election night watch here for the people that they're running with me in Millville. And the Democrats are having theirs at the old Neptune. And the Republicans are going to be out to, it's Eastland's bar out, further out. What's it?
Green Prairie.
No, it's not. They have a really neat tavern at ways.
Yeah, I know where it's at. It's off Panther Road.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Not that I've been there.
No, I know.
Okay.
No, but that's where the Republicans will be.
I heard.
Paul Spinelli will be there covering that for us, and Rick Dawson will be Democratic headquarters, and we'll have all kinds of people getting the information back to the headquarters as well. So we hope you'll join us for election night coverage on Tuesday evening. Ryan, anything else I'm forgetting? Next Friday's game, that's right. The undefeated. No, they one loss. But the state ranked, what are they, ranked fifth, Jim?
No, they're number one.
So
they're number one as far as the Group 4 conference itself, playoffs. They're top seed.
And we don't know who they'll play till Sunday.
I think Morristown
seems like
you're right.
Yeah.
Morristown looks like we'll open up with. Shawnee is in that group.
They
Shawnee's
are.
they're for real too.
They were tough.
They are well coached, and they are a fine football team.
But that's coming up next Friday night. So thank you again. Thank you for joining us, and Ryan Dorowski, thanks for putting it all together. Have a nice night, folks. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.
Things don't always go as planned. That's why having quality healthcare around the corner is so important. And whether it's for sprains, x-rays, or cold and flu, you can visit Inspira Urgent Care and see a doctor without even making an appointment. So come in whenever you need us. Even if it's right now. Inspira Urgent Care. When things go wrong, we're right here.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.